Maya Robinson had been working as a housemaid for the wealthy Sterling family for almost 3 years. She was soft-spoken, warm-hearted, and known in the neighborhood for her kindness. But in the Sterling mansion, she was invisible. Just another uniform, another pair of hands, another shadow moving silently across marbled floors. Still, Maya did her job with quiet dignity. After all, work was work, and her little daughter Naomi depended on her. One bright Saturday morning, the Sterling mansion buzzed with noise as their friends arrived for a high-profile charity brunch. Expensive perfumes filled the air, diamond bracelets clinked like tiny bells, and designer heels tapped across the polished floors. Maya moved between the guests, carrying trays of drinks with steady hands. That's when she heard it. A loud, sharp laugh, elegant but venomous. It belonged to Victoria Hayes, one of the richest women in the city, famous for her cold smile and sharper tongue. She sat on a velvet couch surrounded by 2 other equally snobbish women. Victoria pointed at Maya with her champagne glass. "Look at her!" She scoffed loudly enough for everyone to hear. Listen to her accent. My goodness, is she trying to speak English or singing some jungle melody? The women burst into laughter. Maya froze mid-step. The glass on her tray shook. Heat rushed to her face. Her throat tightened. Victoria wasn't done. "Say something, darling," she mocked. "Come on, entertain us." Maya swallowed hard. "Ma'am, can I get you something else?" she managed, her voice trembling slightly. Victoria exaggerated her tone cruelly, mimicking Maya's accent like it was a circus act. "Can I get you something else?" She laughed so hard she wiped tears from her eyes. The room erupted in giggles. Maya felt small, painfully small, like she had shrunk to the size of the dust she swept every morning. Her eyes burned, but she forced herself not to cry. Not here, not in front of them. She bowed her head politely and walked toward the kitchen, her hands shaking so hard the glasses almost slipped. Behind her, Victoria's mocking voice echoed again. "This is why accents should stay in their own neighborhoods." Guests laughed. People whispered. No one defended her. It was as if Maya's humanity had disappeared in the haze of wealth and cruelty. Inside the kitchen, Maya set down the tray and leaned against the counter, gripping the edge tightly. Tears finally spilled over. Why do they treat me like this? Why do they think they can laugh at me? Because I'm poor? Because I'm black? Because of my accent? She wiped her face quickly. She didn't want anyone to see her broken. But someone had seen everything. Someone who shouldn't have been there. Someone Victoria would never expect. It was Victoria's own daughter, 12-year-old, Lily Hayes, standing quietly in the doorway, watching Maya with big, troubled eyes. She didn't say a word. But the way she looked at Maya said everything. Maya inhaled deeply, straightened herself, and returned to the guests, like she always did. But she didn't know. Something massive had already begun, and in just a few minutes, Victoria Hayes would regret every cruel word she had spoken. The universe was about to flip the moment upside down, in a way no one in that mansion saw coming. Lily Hayes stood frozen in the kitchen doorway, her small hands gripping the frame so tightly that her knuckles turned pale. She had seen her mother mock people before, but today, something was different. Watching Maya cry in silence pierced her chest in a way she didn't understand. Maya noticed her and quickly wiped away her tears, forcing a smile. "Oh, hello, Miss Lily," she whispered softly. "Do you need something?" Lily stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Maya, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you tell them to stop?" Maya gave a sad, tight smile. "People like your mother, they don't listen to people like me." Lily's eyebrows pinched together. "Why, you're so kind. You help everyone. You help us more than anyone." Maya gently placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. "Kindness doesn't matter to some people. They only see what they want to see." Lily swallowed hard. Something inside her, something fierce and protective, began to rise. Meanwhile, in the grand living room, Victoria continued entertaining her wealthy friends with gossip, champagne, and her trademark cruelty. Laughter echoed off the chandelier like tiny shards of glass. She had no idea her daughter was about to walk back in, with a storm in her eyes. Lily steps in. When Maya returned with another tray, trying her best to blend into the background, Victoria smirked again. "There she is," she purred loudly. "Our little accent jukebox. Careful, she might start singing again." The guest chuckled. Maya's throat tightened. She lowered her head and kept walking. She hoped Lily would stay quiet. She hoped the humiliation would just end. But Lily suddenly stepped in front of her. standing between her mother and Maya like a tiny shield. The room fell silent. Victoria blinked. "Lily? Move aside, darling. Mommy is talking." But Lily didn't move. She stared straight at her mother with fire in her eyes. "Stop." The one-word command froze the entire room. Victoria's friends stiffened. Victoria herself frowned deeply. "Excuse me?" Lily's voice trembled, but she didn't back down. "I said stop. You're being mean." The gasps around the room were loud enough to echo. Victoria's cheeks flushed. "Lily, lower your voice. You are embarrassing me." "You embarrassed her," Lily shouted, pointing at Maya. "You made her cry. Why would you do that?" Victoria opened and closed her mouth, but no words came out. She wasn't used to being challenged, especially not by her own daughter. "Lily," she hissed, "don't make a scene." "You made a scene first," Lily fired back. "You made fun of her accent. That's bullying." The room was stunned. Guests who previously laughed now looked away awkwardly. Some cleared their throats. Some shifted in their seats. No one wanted to be associated with the villain now that a child had spoken up. Victoria's voice cracked. "Lily, you don't understand." "I understand enough," Lily said firmly. "Maya works harder than anyone here. She's kind. She's patient. She helps me with homework. She makes me breakfast when you're too busy on your phone, and you treat her like dirt." Silence. Heavy. Embarrassing. Exposing. Maya stood frozen, eyes wide, heart pounding. Lily turned toward the guests. "You all laughed. You all saw she was hurt and you didn't care." A wave of shame swept through the room. No one dared to speak. Then Lily delivered the line that broke Victoria's pride into pieces. "If Dad was here, he'd be ashamed of you." Victoria's breath caught. Her eyes widened, hurt, shocked, shattered. Everyone knew Lily's father had passed away 2 years ago. He was a kind man, gentle-hearted, nothing like Victoria. Lily invoking him wasn't just defiance. It was truth, a truth Victoria couldn't dodge. Victoria opened her mouth, choked, and then closed it again. For the first time in a long time, she looked small. Lily walked over to Maya, took her hand, and said loudly, "You don't deserve this. I'm sorry for my mom." Tears pricked Maya's eyes. No apology had ever hit that deep before. Lily pulled Maya forward. "Come," she said, facing the guests. "If Maya wants to leave today, she leaves. If she wants to stay, she stays. But from now on, you respect her, all of you." A murmur swept through the room. The power dynamic had shifted completely. Maya looked up slowly, confidence blooming faintly beneath her ribs. Victoria finally found her voice, soft, trembling, soaked in humiliation. "Maya, I think we should talk." But Maya wasn't sure if she was ready, because what happened next would flip the mansion upside down. The rich woman who mocked her accent would soon kneel lower than she ever. For the first time in her life, Victoria Hayes, the glamorous, wealthy, untouchable socialite, looked fragile. Her perfectly groomed hair trembled slightly, and her flawless makeup couldn't hide the shock written across her face. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Not her friends, not her staff, not even her late husband. But her daughter had shattered her pride in front of everyone. The living room, moments ago filled with laughter, now felt like a courtroom. Everyone was watching. Everyone was waiting. Victoria swallowed hard and took a small step toward Maya. "Maya, I didn't mean..." Lily cut her off. "No, Mom, tell the truth." Victoria froze again. Her wealthy friends pretended to look at their jewelry, their phones, their nails, anything but her. No one came to her defense. No one giggled this time. No one took her side, because the truth was heavy and undeniable. She had mocked Maya. She had humiliated her. She had treated her like an object. Victoria's throat tightened as guilt began to claw at her chest, slow and sharp. She turned fully toward Maya. Her voice trembled. "Maya, I'm sorry." Maya blinked, shocked. But Victoria wasn't done. She took another shaky breath and said, louder this time so the entire room could hear, "I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you. It was cruel. It was wrong. And it was not the kind of person I want to be." A stunned gasp spread across the room. Victoria Hayes, the queen of arrogance, the definition of entitlement, was apologizing publicly. Her friends didn't know where to look. Some were uncomfortable. Some were ashamed they had laughed along. Victoria took a step closer to Maya, not as a superior, but as a human being stripped of her armor. "You didn't deserve what I said," she whispered. "Your accent is not something to mock. It's something to celebrate. It's part of who you are." Maya's eyes softened, but she stayed silent. "And," Victoria's voice cracked, "Lily is right. If my husband were here today, he would be disappointed in me." Her lips trembled. For a moment, she looked like a child who had lost her way. Tears formed in her eyes. "I've been cruel because I thought power came from belittling others. But today I realized..." Her voice broke completely. "I've been wrong for a long time." The room was silent. Even the air seemed to hold its breath. Maya finally spoke, her voice gentle yet steady. "Mrs. Hayes, I don't need you to kneel. I don't need a perfect apology. I just need you to see me. Really see me." Victoria nodded slowly, tears running down her cheeks. "I see you now, I promise." Lily smiled softly at Maya, squeezing her hand tighter. Something unexpected happened next. A tall man in a suit stepped forward from the back of the room. Someone Maya hadn't noticed before. He had a stern expression but warm eyes. It was Mr. Alcott, one of the board members and the organizer of the charity event. He cleared his throat. "Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue the brunch, I'd like to say something." Everyone turned their attention toward him. This event is supposed to be about charity, about helping people grow, supporting those who work hard, and lifting up those in need. He glanced at Maya. And today, Maya has shown more grace, patience, and dignity than any of us. A few guests nodded solemnly. "In fact," Mr. Alcott continued, "I've been looking for someone trustworthy, someone responsible, someone who treats others with kindness and respect, for a new position at the Alcott Foundation." Gasps filled the room. He looked straight at Maya. "Maya Robinson, I would like to offer you a job, a full-time assistant position. Better pay, better hours, and full benefits for you and your daughter." Maya's mouth fell open. "What? Me?" "Yes." He smiled. You deserve it." Lily clapped instantly, beaming. "Maya, that's amazing." Even Victoria's eyes widened in shock, but then softened with genuine happiness. "Maya," she whispered, "take it. You deserve a better life than what I gave you here." Maya's hands trembled as tears spilled onto her cheeks. Not from humiliation this time, but from hope. Real life-changing hope. She nodded slowly. "Yes, I'll take it." The room erupted into applause. Lily hugged her tightly. Victoria wiped her tears, and even the guests who mocked her earlier found themselves clapping, ashamed, humbled but grateful they witnessed something powerful. Maya stood in the middle of the luxurious room, no longer invisible, no longer small, no longer mocked. She was seen. She was valued. She was respected. And as she stepped forward, toward a new job, a brighter future, and a life her daughter would be proud of, one truth became clear. The rich woman mocked her accent, but seconds later, she regretted it forever.